These are things I will never buy again. I'm also going to share some things that I will never buy cheap. Let's start with personal care. The first thing is name brand over-the-counter things like acetaminophen or Tylenol. I always buy the store brand. It's just as effective, but a heck of a lot cheaper. Flossers with handles. They sell those tiny little pieces of floss with a handle. I just think those plastic handles are so wasteful. I will never buy those. I'll never buy dry clean only clothing. I definitely do not want to not only spend money on dry cleaning my clothes, there's also a lot of chemicals that go with that process. It really should be called chemical cleaning. I don't want such high maintenance clothes. I want things that I can wash right in the washer or dryer. Shaving cream. I don't buy this anymore, and I actually just use conditioner. I don't know about you, but when I buy a bottle of shampoo and a bottle of conditioner at the same time, my shampoo always runs out, and then I have like a ton of conditioner left. So I just use it for shaving. Also, travel size toiletries for like, when you don't want to check your bag. I don't buy these. I have like reusable plastic bottles. I just refill them with things that I need. I don't buy the small ones. Okay, moving on to kitchen items. Never will I buy bottled water. This is just something you will never see me doing. I have my own stainless steel cup that I refill, but then at home we have a water filter. I think that bottled water in the grocery store is kind of like a scam. The bottles are super wasteful, but then it's just really filtered water. Unless your water at home is unsafe, I would not consider buying bottled water at all. And of course, energy drinks, just never buy these. I think I've had them in the past, but no more. I've heard too many stories. These could be dangerous. Don't buy them. I don't buy low-fat or diet food. And I have to say, all of this low-fat food or this diet food is like ultra processed. It causes inflammation. So I just buy healthier versions of like whole foods. I just like to buy the full fat normal version. Maybe I'll eat a little bit less, keeps me fuller for longer. And I definitely don't buy like the packaged products like those diet bars or diet chips that you see. Also the diet powder that you can make shakes from. When I was younger, from time to time, I would go on Slim Fast for like a little bit of time, like a couple weeks here and there. I don't do that anymore, and if I were to have that, I would instead get like a protein powder and make a shake that way. Farm-raised salmon. Never buy this. No matter how bad you think that farm-raised salmon is for you, it's actually 100 times worse. It has no omega-3s in it. It has more saturated fat than a piece of steak, if you can believe that. It's full of dyes, it's full of antibiotics, it's full of pesticides. You just don't want it. Look into it, read about it, and I promise you will never want to buy it again either. By the way, as I'm going through this list, these are just my opinions. I would love to hear what you guys think, what you don't buy anymore, maybe things that are on my list that you disagree with. Let me know in the comments below. And by the way, this is a good time to tell you, if you're not already subscribed to me, it's free and I would love to have you on my channel. I don't buy instant rice for the microwave anymore. I'm talking about the one that's like sort of parboiled and then you can fully cook it in the microwave. I think rice is like one of the easiest things to cook yourself. Like literally you just water rice and you can leave it to sit and it will cook. And also, I think that the instant rice is way marked up. So you're just better off buying a bag of rice. Next is ingredients for complex recipes. So I like to cook a lot. I like to bake a lot, but I don't buy any weird ingredients that I'm only going to use for one particular recipe, because then what happens is you have a lot left over and you end up having to throw it away. Even certain things like buttermilk that go in certain recipes, I'll just make my own buttermilk with milk and some lemon juice. I try to find substitutes rather than buying those ingredients that I may or may not use. I've shared this before, paper towels. I have a bunch left over, but I don't buy them anymore. We use reusable paper towels, kind of along the same lines. I don't buy any paper cups, paper plates, plastic utensils. Also, coffee machine cleaner, they sell this. It's kind of expensive. I guess it could be considered easy, but I'm just more comfortable using vinegar. I don't want to use chemicals in my coffee maker because I'm drinking out of it every morning. So I say skip the coffee maker cleaner and go for vinegar. Next is meal delivery services like HelloFresh and things like that. I'm sure these are delicious. I've never actually gotten them. I just can't really get past the price, but then I also can't get past the wastefulness of it. I do think that when you're ordering these meals, I'd just rather go to the grocery store and get like a head of lettuce rather than a couple pieces of lettuce wrapped in a plastic bag that comes in a delivery box. This is just a preference. Maybe some people find these delicious and easy to cook. I just don't like the amount of packaging that they come in. Okay, moving on to general items. The next one is premium gas. think this is really expensive. I know that some cars recommend it. I used to have a car that recommended it. I never did it. The car was fine. I don't know. Maybe you disagree with me. Let me know. Travel insurance. If you are booking on your credit card, chances are there's already travel insurance included. Just check the fine print, but I never buy travel insurance anymore. And then shipping fees for online purchases. I don't know if you feel the same way, but whenever I'm buying something online and there's a shipping fee, I'm like offended and I don't want to buy it anymore. There's just so many things you can buy now without a shipping fee. Sometimes, you have to spend a little bit more to do it, but I find that it's worth it. Also, ATM fees. I do not go to any ATM that is not my bank branch. Those fees, they say that it's an extra $1 or $2, but then it could also be a percentage of what you're taking out. It is such a ripoff. Also, landline phone service. I mean, maybe this comes with your cable package, which I shared before. I don't actually pay for cable anymore either, but I also don't get landline phone service. We all have cell phones. I think there's like 4 cell phones in our house at this point. Newspapers. I don't get these. I love the idea of getting a newspaper and having my coffee and sitting and reading it, but I never do that. I just read the news online. Speaking of reading, I love to read, but I just don't buy new books anymore. Don't get me wrong. I do get books from time to time, but I will either get them thrifted or I will go to the library. We have a great library, like 8 doors down. And just a little public service message that if you're not using your library, you are really missing out. Storage units. I just have this philosophy that if I can't fit the item in my home and I think I need a storage unit, then no, I just need to get rid of the stuff that I'm trying to store. Items from Amazon that I have not looked the price up before I purchase. Listen, I love Amazon. I love the convenience of it. I love that you can get very specific things from Amazon and you don't have to go to like multiple stores or look through a bunch of aisles. However, they can be a little sneaky and they do mark up some of their goods. So what I like to do is when I'm purchasing something from Amazon, I will price check it with other websites and make sure that I'm not overpaying. Greeting cards for certain people. I just find that greeting cards, it's just a piece of paper. It's $5, $6, $7, whatever it is. And people throw them away a lot of the time. However, I still do buy greeting cards for certain people. The only people who I don't buy them for are people who I have an agreement with not to buy greeting cards. And I know this is like super weird, but I have like friends and we've just said, hey, we're not going to get greeting cards for each other's birthdays. We are just going to simply say happy birthday to each other and not worry about a card. Okay, moving on to cleaning, home care products. Next is toxic chemicals for cleaning. I do have bleach that I use for like laundry and stuff like that, but I am no longer buying any of those harsh chemical cleaners. I have since learned I can make my own cleaning products. The irony is my house is much cleaner now that I've ditched those toxic chemicals. I've got 3 kids in the house. We watch dogs from time to time. I just don't want that stuff in the house. Collectibles. I don't buy collectibles. I kind of have this thought that if you're not displaying your collectibles, then it just ends up being clutter. Sometimes people will have a lot of collectibles stored away. They don't really look at them or see them. I just kind of think collectible is like, it's like a little trap you could fall into where you just like buying more things and then it's turning into clutter. Air fresheners, definitely don't buy these. I do have some candles. I like essential oils, but I definitely don't buy the air fresheners. I find that those smell very chemically or fake, and you don't really know what you're breathing with that. So I just steer clear of those. Paint that isn't one coat guaranteed. I have learned this lesson the hard way. You may think that you're saving money and that you can get it to be one coat if you just use enough paint. No, it doesn't work. Otherwise, you will have to do double the amount of work and it will end up being more expensive. I know, I have done the math. Okay, kids items. Now, I don't have any babies anymore. However, if I did, I would not buy baby shoes. I'm sorry if you love them. Babies aren't walking. They don't need shoes. My kids just wore bare feet or socks. Also, a baby wipe warmer. I know people love these. I just never wanted to get my kids used to it because I could imagine that we'd be like on a road trip or something and I'd have to use a cold wipe and then they would start screaming because they weren't used to it. So from the get-go, I did not get a baby wipe warmer, and they didn't seem to care. Kids' toys outside of birthdays and Christmas. I have followed this rule forever. Somehow we still have a ton of toys. So thank God I followed that rule because I hate to think what my house would look like if I didn't. But kids' toys, I don't just buy them as like, on a whim or anything like that. It's got to be for a specific holiday. Goodie bags for parties. A lot of times parents buy these and they give them out. And again, it's just like little plastic toys, things that your kids will play with for maybe 2 minutes and then you have to throw it away. Also, fancy toys. I don't buy fancy toys for the kids. I see, they see other kids like riding around in these little electric cars and they're like, oh, can I get that? That looks really fun. Yes, it looks fun, but I know how this goes. They will get that car, they will ride it around for a week, and then it will sit in the garage gathering dust. So we just don't do it. I will sometimes use money as a reward for my kids. If they do some reading, I'll give them like $1 for half an hour of reading. It really motivates them to read. I mean, I'm not really above bribery in certain instances. One of the things I was going to say is I don't do in-app purchases. So I see like a lot of kids playing Fortnite and Roblox, and they have like things that they buy, like virtual outfits and virtual weapons and virtual moves. And I just think it's such a waste of money. I do not do any of those in-app purchases. I don't let my kids do them. But if they have done a lot of reading and they've earned enough money, they can then put that money towards it. And then finally, here's just a handful of items to never buy cheap. As they say, buy cheap, buy twice. If you can afford these items, get the best ones that you can, because I'm telling you, it will actually save you money in the long run. Tires. Always go for the nice tires on your car. Your life is in your tires' hands. Your whole car is sitting on those tires. You want to have good ones. I've also found that unless you're buying a good name brand battery, they die really quickly. And so you think that you're getting a deal on the battery, but it only lasts half as long. Also, water filters. I feel very strongly about this. We have a very powerful water filter, and I mean the actual filter that we have to change. I think it's like $70, but it lasts for a few months and it filters everything. I've even sent it to a lab and had it tested, but make sure you get a good filter. Bras. These are also something that you should consider to have good quality. You wear them every day. You want to look good in your clothing, and I think that these kind of set the foundation of your outfit, so don't skimp on bras. Knives. A lot of people buy cheap knives, but you know what happens? Then you end up cutting your finger. I have had cheap knives and I have cut many fingers. It wasn't until my husband and I, one day, we were sick of like dull, stupid knives. We bought some nice knives from Henkel. We have never looked back. We love them. Okay, guys, that's my list of 35 plus things that I won't buy in my 40s. Let me know in the comments below if you have things that you also won't buy. And like I said, click that subscribe button. I would love to have you on my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.